I actually built this thing originally in 2007. I hosted a TV show at the time. And this was one of the last projects that was on that particular episode. At the time, Project Budget Buggy is what it was called. So getting a buggy built on the cheap. I had the opportunity to rehash it. I had actually sourced an all aluminum 5.3 LS engine for another project. That project changed direction, and this motor's just been sitting. I took it up to Pacific Fabrication. We did a DOD and VVT delete, put a mild cam in it. To adapt the engine to the transmission required a custom bell housing. And so I turned to Quick Draw brand. Those guys make fantastic conversion bell housings for all kinds of stuff, from diesel to gas. One of them is an LS to AX15 adapter. Mating the two is a center force dual friction clutch and flywheel. So it's a billet steel flywheel. It's actually SFI certified, so I can go drag racing if I want to. This is actually my first dual friction clutch. I usually stick with a center force too. But because of the power this thing's making, it went a little bit more aggressive. So still a single disc clutch, should handle, I think it's good for like 500 foot-pounds of torque. I'm not making anywhere near that, so we should be good. So, second thing to address, all the bent up suspension. So I turned to Skyjacker, our title sponsor, of course, and they set me up with a completely new suspension system. We have new link arms. They are custom made by Vernecofab. Verne set me up with new control arms. They use Skyjacker ends, new track bars, again, Skyjacker stuff, custom because of this particular application. And then most importantly and most shinily, new coilovers. So these are 14-inch travel. These are Skyjacker ADX coilovers. They are remote reservoirs. They are super beautiful pieces. They ride fantastic. I can't say enough good things. Back to the motor though, in order to install an engine, of course, you need engine mounts. And so for that, I turned to Novak Conversions. These guys are awesome. They specialize in adapters for all kinds of different stuff. They make an absolutely beautiful motor mount kit that's for a TJ with an LS. And so we had to do just some minor tweaking. We moved the engine just a little bit different from where they really intended it to be for a couple of reasons. It's a weld-in kit, but it fit beautifully. The biggest thing with a conversion is how are you going to keep it cold? Well, for that, once again, I turned to Novak. They have a beautiful all aluminum radiator with a fan. The fan is a Spall fan, real high quality fan. Simple bolt-on deal, just bolts to the back of the grill in place of the factory radiator. And I have yet to see engine temps over 190 degrees on the gauge in this thing. So it is dialed. And that was honestly, that was my biggest concern with this whole thing is it going to stay cool? Because that, as everybody knows, that's watched Unreal Adventure, that's probably the most common problem. And I don't think I'm gonna have that. And that's a good thing. So special thanks to Novak for setting me up with all that. So next up, engine management. You know, obviously a LS is fuel injected, and so you need some way to have the computer control the engine, all the sensors and all that stuff on it. I had the factory harness, but it would have taken a lot to cut it down. And honestly, with LS conversions being so popular these days, it really didn't make sense. So I turned to Painless Wiring, and Painless set me up with a Gen 4 LS harness. It was a simple plug and play sort of a deal. I believe I had to hook up 3 wires, 4 wires, something like that. Super simple, super easy. It's running an E38 computer, which is what the Painless harness is designed around. So in terms of computer tuning and all that stuff, I turned to my buddy Corey Holmes. Corey is a UA alumni. He is also a huge LS guru. And he was able to do all the tuning on this thing, unlocking the computer, getting rid of the anti-theft. He was able to do that, believe it or not, from his pool in San Diego while I was in Phoenix. And he did that with an HB Tuners MPV i3 device. So after all the tuning was done, I was able to keep tabs on the engine via a complete set of autometer gauges. Got it all covered. Water temp, oil pressure, voltage, speed, tach. It's all there and it's all highly accurate. From there, that pretty much covers the engine. So moving on, what about the steering? Well, the steering, the original setup was not ideal, and it used a custom end that I bent several times. I actually used to carry 2 to 3 spares with me on UA. That's how commonly I would bend this link. So we took the opportunity to fix all that. we went to a Dynatrac steering arm. This has Dynatrac outers on it. And then new tie rod and drag link came from Christor Motorsports. These are actually aluminum links. And why would you do that? Aluminum is softer than steel. Well, with this type of aluminum, if you hit it, it's able to deflect and it just goes back to its original shape. Super cool stuff. And then to help out with the steering, I have a complete PSC steering system. That PSC steering system has actually been on this car since day one. And so the box is great, the ram was perfect. The pump, however, was different. And so they were able to set me up with a LS power steering pump, simple bolt-on deal. It actually steers better than it ever has. It's fast, can't say enough good things. They set me up with completely new lines, and I am worry-free in the steering department. So from there, moving on, let's talk about some of the more obvious stuff on the outside. First up, of course, the most dramatic difference you might see as compared to looking at some old photos of this thing is a completely new set of tires and wheels. First up, of course, what else would I do but turn to Milestar, the official tire of Unreal Adventure 2025, and I'm running a set of their Patagonia MT2s. These are 38 1350 17s, and these are the black label version. Those are wrapped around a set of 17x9 Dirty Life wheels. The beadlocks went on beautifully. I love the look of these wheels. So those tires are driven via drive shafts, and the drive shafts, once again, Quigley, the official drive shaft of Unreal Adventure, they set me up with a brand new rear shaft along with a front shaft. The other noticeable exterior difference that you'll see on this thing is the come-up winch. So that is one of their competition winches. So the way this particular vehicle is set up, I can't use a normal width winch. And so these are what we call a short drum winch. It's an 8,000 pounder. It bolted right in. It uses a Haas Fairlead. For the rope, I actually turned to Freedom Recovery Gear. Those guys make super high quality ropes. Synthetic, it's got a wear sleeve on it if I end up getting it up against a sharp rock or in some rigging. And they also set me up with snatch block and some soft shackles. Super high quality stuff. I believe they're a Canadian company, but they ship to the lower 48 all the time. So special thanks to Freedom Recovery Gear. This thing has been parked for a long time, over 6 years, and I had kind of forgotten about it. Oh, well, it just sat in a corner, and I wasn't sure, maybe I was gonna get rid of it and all that, but I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I stuck with it because I have fallen in love with this thing all over again. Gaining 2 cylinders and probably doubling the horsepower has turned this thing into an absolute riot. It's fast. It's got tons and gobs and gobs and gobs of torque. It rides beautifully. I can 2-finger going down the road. It drives wonderfully. Like I said, I am so glad that this is basically the 3rd major revision that has happened to this vehicle over the course of 15, almost 20 years. So I'll be honest with you guys, this project has been a ton of work. I mean, I have spent a lot of late nights. Verne and I both, Verne Simons at Vernecofab, he has done a tremendous amount of work on this vehicle, but I am super stoked. This thing is as good as it has ever been, and I am excited to be leading this year's Unreal Adventure.